Good afternoon, anti-novelists and friends. Welcome back to Zettelkasten for fiction writers, where imagination finds order. So I want to pick up where we left off yesterday. Yesterday in video episode number 100, we talked about the zero draft, all of the little things that you collect in order to begin a fiction writing project. So let's add a card to our stack. First, I want you to notice. Yesterday, I labeled these cards 1150/1/2/3 and /4. I went in after our video wrapped and I prepended that number with 1148 on all of them because in my Zettelkasten, 1148 is the closest number to where these kinds of plot modeling things live in my actual note box. So I went ahead, added that number, and I indexed these, as you saw, under plot modeling, modeling plot, story structure. So everything is nicely installed and ready to rock in terms of my note box. So let's look at how you can go from a simple plot model of your story idea and start abstracting that out into the components of a story. So I've got myself a little pile of note cards here. We're going to do some homework. Let's begin simply, obviously, because we don't want to be sitting here for the next 40 minutes listening to me. Let's begin simple. So I'm going to say we're going to do a 4-point story. Okay, so my character is going to begin here. I'm going to discover that my character is cruising along in life, just normal, nothing extraordinary, nothing fancy. And there's going to be something happen. Okay, there's going to be an action. That action is going to result in my character having a decline in their life. So this is one story point, which is a scene. This is the next story point, which is a sequel. Okay, so this is the natural outcome of what happened here. As a result of this, my character learned something and they're going to fight their way back up to the level that they were at normal, and they're going to keep on rocketing, and we're going to have, voila, an amazing happy ending. So this is a very short example, but I think if you stay with me, you're going to see where I'm headed here. So now, let's take this example. So I'm going to label these just so that we can stay together. This is 3 and 4, and the outcome is 5. So now I would create 5 note cards. All right. So we're going to label this one is the /1. Okay. /1 is the first thing that happens. What should we name our character? I'm looking around the room for any name. Okay. The first name that I see over there on a book is Robert. So we're going to name our character Robert. So I'm going to say Robert is in his normal world. Okay, so this is essentially the first point in my story. And then I'm going to do my /2 card. All right, /2. And I'm going to say Robert for item 2, plot point 2, plot beat 2, whatever you want to call it, step 2 in the story. Robert encounters, what should this be? We'll call it, let's just say a setback. I'm going to let you choose the details, but he encounters some kind of a setback. So he's cruising along in his normal life, and then he experiences a setback as the second point in the story. And that setback results in our /3. And Robert is going to find, sorry, that's shaking, that first of all, there is a decline. All right, so something takes him down, something challenges him. We'll call it a decline or a challenge/fail. Okay, because remember, he ends up below where he was in his normal. And then there's also a 4 here, which the first circle is Robert experiencing this decline or challenge resulting in the failure. The second circle, which is our /4, is Robert learns. All right. And now he is armed with wisdom. Okay. And as a result of that wisdom that he's just gained, Robert continues his ascent, let's say, gaining power from his wisdom. And this is our /5. And then I'm going to put the end so that I know this is the last point in this story. Now, if I wanted to do something wacky, if I wanted to have a little Japanese Kishoto Kentsu twist, right? I'm going to have a little extra something. Even though in my last card, I have him gaining power from the wisdom that he gained after his fall, after his failure. He's gained this power, but dun dun dun, what he gained came with a price. Dun dun dun. All right. So that's going to give me a /6. And I'm going to say Robert pays a price. So he got the win, right? He came out of it. He got the power. He got the wisdom, but it came with a price. Maybe he lost someone important to him. Maybe he failed at something else. I don't know. It's your story. You get to decide. But this is a walkthrough of what I'm going over in chapter 9 of Zettelkasten for fiction writers that just breaks down in a super simple way how you can map out your story. Now, this first card that has the actual story model on it, I would label that my /0 card because that tells me that this is the model for this story. All right. And then my numbers simply guide me through those simple plot points. So that's what that looks like. This is the completion of how you build out what your story looks like on the page. And then you wrap that around your characters and what those points in your story actually mean. Now, how exciting is this? Because now you can go in and be like, ooh, okay, Robert's normal world. What is Robert's normal? Well, for my pantsers, you're just going to start writing. Dudes, you're just going to sit down and start hammering out, what does Robert's world look like? Who is he? Who is he as a character? What is the setting where he lives, where he works? You're just going to start banging out those details. And then you're going to figure out what happens that is a setback that changes his relationship to his normal and that leads to ultimately his decline, challenge, and failure. So see how simple that is? Really, that's all there is to it. There's no secret. You just have to do the writing. So I'm going to leave you there for today because that is a simple representation of how you model out your story so that you know what's going to happen. Tomorrow, we're going to take this same structure, or we might create a new one. We'll see what we feel like doing tomorrow. But we're going to take a structure and we're going to start packing that into a keyword outline. So you're going to go from your story model to your story cards or your plot points, whatever you want to call these. And then we're going to start plugging this into something that is even more robust and continues to build it out step by step towards writing that actual finished zero draft, which has your story all written out. So I will leave you there for today. As always, thank you for your attention. I've got time for about 2 sprints. As I said, I'm working on chapters 7 and 9 right now. 9 is almost finished. I'm literally like 2 sections away from finishing 9, and then I can start fleshing out chapter 7, which is all about short forms, and I'm having a blast working on that because I've interviewed some great authors that I can't wait to share their perspectives and their work on short and microfiction with you guys. I think you're going to find it super helpful. So anyway, there you go. one step closer to beginning a zero draft by using plot modeling and charting those points on your note cards, which will ultimately end up over in your own Zettelkasten. There you have it, guys. I will see you tomorrow.